All right, so one stock that has way outperformed the S&P is Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. It's jumped nearly 20% so far this year. The company is reporting a decline in operating profits first quarter over the weekend, citing a sharp profit drop in its insurance underwriting business. The big news, though, of course, as we headlined, Warren Buffett finally announcing that he is stepping down as CEO of Berkshire after 6 decades on the job. He's going to be passing the reins or handing the reins over to Greg Abel, who is right now vice chair of the company, by the end of the year. Here's what Buffett had to say.
We'll go forward with that operation, and I will play with a Ouija board or whatever, and that comes out in terms of doing things. But I will not. I have no intention, zero, of selling one share of Berkshire Hathaway. It'll get given away gradually.
Buffett there, and he's saying he will not sell Berkshire's shares. The stock has jumped more than 5,500% in the past 60 years. Buffett is also known as a legendary investor, of course, who stressed on the importance of fundamentals and not overpaying for assets. That brings us to our big number of the day, $347 billion US, and that is a big number. That is the record cash pile that Berkshire has accumulated. The Oracle of Omaha has struggled to put money to work amid the tariff uncertainty. Here is what he had to say about the U.S. trade war at the company's shareholders meeting on Saturday.
Trade should not be a weapon. And the United States, we've won. I mean, we have become an incredibly important country, starting from nothing. 250 years ago, there's nothing been anything like it. And it's a big mistake, in my view, when you have 7.5 billion people that don't like you very well, and you got 300 million that are crowing in some way about how well they've done.
So the question is, did he deploy any of that cash? I mean, the cash reserve has been building up over the last couple of years, but did he deploy any of them in the month of April, is my question. Of course, he didn't spend any of that in the first quarter as of March 31st, but of course, given the market turmoil, did it open up the buying opportunity for Mr. Warren Buffett?
Yeah, it's a big question, Sherry. And just to, I guess correct things a little bit to be exact or specific, the number we actually probably want, if you're going to round things up or down, is 378, because I think the exact number is 347.7 billion, so 348. But look, whatever it is, it's a huge chunk of change, right? And this is kind of interesting because, I mean, Buffett basically is very, very careful and conservative. He spends a lot of time, or has spent a lot of time, basically doing nothing in terms of investing. And then suddenly, out of the blue, boom, the guy pounces. So you got to wonder whether it's that he's not finding anything either to buy or the right value to buy, or that simply, like everybody else, he just doesn't know what's going to happen with the trade war and tariffs.
Yeah, and Berkshire's outlook definitely showed a lot of caution around that. They actually talked about the pace of changes in these events. So they were talking about macro and geopolitical events, including international trade policies and tariffs, and they're saying it accelerated in 2025. And we saw that, of course, in the first 4 months or so. And what's fascinating is how he's been really trying to raise cash from selling Apple and Bank of America shares. But one stock that is helping him is BYD in China. It's up close to 50% year to date. I know that it's one of the stocks that he has been really trimming his exposure to, but I thought that was an interesting sort of juxtaposition. Although he is really trimming the position in BYD in recent years, it's about 1% of Berkshire Hathaway portfolio as we speak.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget about this, right? He was one of the early investors, or Berkshire was, in BYD, which back in those days people used to call by its full name, Build Your Dreams, right? And before it really got into EVs. So I guess that bet is paying off.